y cómo quisiera ser recordado, pues por alguien que ayudó a despertar conciencias, ¿no? Eso es lo que quisiera que así dijera mi epitafio.
Perfecto, pues Gabriel, te agradecemos muchísimo esta platicada tan rica contigo, con tu alma. Te agradezco muchísimo y sobre todo te agradezco el trabajo que estás haciendo por México, porque nosotros, hablo por los Exennials, que tenemos hijos Centennials, seguramente estarán viendo el cambio que ustedes, Mexicanos por México, están haciendo y que se están dedicando esta etapa de su vida a ello. Así que muchísimas gracias en nombre de todos los Exennials, en nombre de todos los Millennials y Centennials, y mucha suerte en este gran proyecto al que se ve que le están poniendo todo el corazón. Y bueno, nos vemos la próxima semana. Esto fue Al Desnudo con Luz María Orsi, el lado humano del empresario, y hoy el lado humano de México también. Nos vemos la próxima semana.
Esto fue una producción de Now Media Televisión. Todos los derechos reservados.
Broadcasting live from Houston, from the space city to the world. You are watching Now Media Television.
Welcome to Your Personal Real Estate. I'm your host, Michelle Briggs. Each week on this show, we will be exploring all aspects of real estate, from current price trends and housing prices, discussing financing options, and introducing owners of businesses that can be a partner for homeowners, home buyers, and investors. Let us touch on one aspect of where we are today within the world of real estate. For those of us that are living and breathing the housing markets today, we are still seeing the concerns in the eyes of both buyers and sellers. I personally am experiencing and reading across the U.S. home prices have declined. However, housing affordability is severely lacking due to high interest rates, median prices of homes today, and more. Along with inflation today, first-time home buyers are feeling the impact of not being able to buy as much house as they could have a couple of years ago. It's a reality when you start dreaming and creating what you see for your family in the future. Some can become disenchanted just by merely the fact that they have one less bedroom to grow their family. No longer is the backyard kitchen with the pool within their budget. Do not roll your eyes. It is a reality today. And us, the realtors, we are sometimes on the other side of that conversation. It's not fun. Then we have the other side, realtors that are working with sellers that believe their house is worth what it is a year and a half ago, only to come to the reality that is not. And when the property becomes stale, sitting on the market 3 months or longer, with average days on the market being over 60 days, it is imperative to price your home competitively. Now, when I say days on market, it literally means the number of days the property has been available for sale from when the listing agent posted that property for sale. Experienced realtors will tell you in today's market, previewing a stale listing is not unusual. It doesn't mean that necessarily there's something wrong with it. Those days are gone. I believe that we will still be experiencing multiple offers as we're going into the selling season, though the offers will not be over list price. They're going to want the seller to pay for the title policy, and I personally had a client receive an offer with a home warranty request. We haven't seen that in years. The days of the buyer's market maybe are upon us, but don't worry to my sellers. We can still be competitive and sell your house and find you your new home. It is about having a plan of action. And one of those ways not to have your house listing go stale is to make sure your home is sparkling clean, having top-notch appliances, and making sure that you have the coverage needed so if something happens during the process of it being sold or being listed, you're covered. If none of that is of any interest with you, then you should stay to learn how to invest in real estate for passive income. If that does not make you stay, I'm not sure what will. Now our guest today is Emma. She's the owner of Detail Cleaning Services. Megan Anderson, she's business development with Renova Appliance Center, along with our show's newest sponsor, Sajay Salam. He's the principal of Care Venture Capital, and he's the one that's going to tell us about the passive income. And of course, we have Jason Control. He's with State Farm, and he's going to make sure that we have the right coverage. And we'll be right back after these commercials. It's fine. I screw up all the time. It's okay.
¿Quieres que tu negocio crezca y todo parece indicar que el camino es Estados Unidos? Te dijeron que abras una LLC para que no pagues impuestos, mas no tienes idea de cómo hacerlo. Soy Edmundo Treviño y quiero compartir contigo más de 20 años como empresario en Estados Unidos para que tú no te equivoques en los mismos errores que yo ya realicé. Sígueme en todas las redes sociales para que juntos conquistemos el mercado americano.
Welcome back, everyone. Michelle Briggs here. I'm your host for Your Personal Real Estate, and we are continuing our show today, and we are talking to Megan Anderson. She is business development for Renova Appliance Center. How are you doing today, Megan?
I am fantastic. Thank you for having me here today, Michelle.
Well, I am so glad that you are here. Megan and I have known each other for many years, and her customer service is beyond phenomenal. So, Megan, tell us a little bit about you and Renova Appliance Center.
Well, as Michelle said, I have been working with Renova Appliance Center for over, it's almost 10 years now. So I started with them and was doing a little bit of marketing, but then I quickly moved up to business development, which I am helping Renova continue to grow their business, even in the economic times that we don't know what the future is going to hold. We are strong and we are steady, and so we've been in business helping the Houston area since 1988. We are family-owned and operated. We are a small business. There's only 5 people, but we are doing lots of business, and we're here to help the community.
That you are. So as you're saying, can you talk about your customer service that you provide for new home buyers and homeowners?
Absolutely. So whenever somebody's buying a home, many times they're getting builder-grade appliances, and maybe they want to do an upgrade. Maybe they're buying their forever home and they want to make it just the way that they want it. So the best thing to do is to come down to our showroom. We're located at the Beltway and 59 on the south side of town, and we have a full showroom that has a bunch of kitchen beignets that you can come and look at the different options and the different things that are available for you at a great price.
You do have some really great prices. Now, with the showroom, what are your showroom hours? Is it Monday through Friday? Are you open Saturdays?
Yes, so Monday through Friday, we're open from 8 to 6, and then on Saturdays, we're open 10 to 4 to kind of give our staff a little bit of a break.
Of course. Now, you specialize in working with new home builders. You work with home flippers, investors. What makes you stand out from other appliance companies when working with them?
So there's something that's really unique about Renova Appliance Center is that we will go into your unoccupied homes. So if you've got an investment property that you're flipping and you've got a general contractor that's sitting there and waiting all day for their different contractors to come in and do their work, you don't have to do that with Renova Appliance Center. We'll come in as long as there's a lockbox on the property. We'll come in, do the appliances. We'll uninstall the old ones. That's included in our installation fee. We will take pictures showing you that the work has been done, and we'll lock up when we leave, giving you the peace of mind that your home is still secure.
I do not know of another company that does that, so thank you for being that for us. It's so much, it creates so much convenience, bottom line. So what is the top model that you see being purchased, or what's trending in residential properties today?
So there's actually quite a few new models that are out, but one thing I will say is that I just went to a trade show to look at the different designs that are coming out for manufacturers, and I will say that Z-Line has an amazing, beautiful 36-inch, 46-inch range, either a range top or a range that looks so beautiful and elegant, but it slashes the price of the bigger brands, such as like Thermador or those big brands that you want, but you don't want to spend that price. They give an excellent line of beautiful crafted appliances at a more affordable price.
Well, so I don't know if you can say this, but what is your favorite brand and why?
Oh, see, it's not a new brand, but it's new to Renova that we really love, and it's an Italian brand. It's Becco, and they have a refrigerator that I've got my eye on. That internally it has different LED lights that also promote the seasons, the change of the seasons, and the actual change of the daylight hours. So while it's mimicking the daylight hours of whatever's going on outside, inside your refrigerator to keep your food fresher longer, which I think is just so unique, and it's the first time I've seen anything like it.
That is very unique. Sounds like you're going to purchase one for yourself.
I am.
You are. Well, not only you love working with Renova owners and the family and the team, but you have a lot of love for community. So I want to give you an opportunity to talk a little bit about your annual toy drive and how you give back to our community here in Houston.
Yeah, so we have several events, and it's all around families that we do throughout the year. In April, right now, we're doing something we actually are partnering with Child Advocates for Fort Bend, and we are partnering with them to give them back. They're getting 2% of our retail sales throughout the whole month of April. We're giving back to them as a donation. We also are going to do a school drive for school supplies to help local families and local community schools that need school supplies. And then, of course, in December, we have a huge annual toy drive that we do with Toys for Tots that we are able to give back a bunch of toys, truckload of toys. We call it Stuff the Trailer event every year, and we have just a big party and invite everybody to come out, see the showroom, have some drinks and have some fun and some small bites, and visit with our podcasters that come out on the PK and DK show. They come out and they're local, and so they have a good time with us too.
Now, during this, you do have a chef. You have someone that comes in and utilizes the actual appliances, right?
Yes.
So that's something that you do every year with the toy drive?
Yes. Last year we had a grazing table, so we wanted to try to give even the person who is there, giving them a little bit more space to talk about what they do instead of having to be so multi-focused, whether it's cooking or doing things. So we had a grazing table last year, but we have utilized a chef in the past, letting them come in and do the cooking right on our showroom floor so they can display what the appliances can do.
Well, I love that you give back to the community. Now, with all of your appliances, how large or what is your delivery time? There's so many questions that I have for you, because what this show is about is really teaching the consumer and the viewers really about who you are and what you do. And I know we just talked about the community events, but I want to take a step back and really look at, how large is the floor? What is the variety? What is your delivery? How long does that take upon order? Should have asked that earlier, and I apologize, but let's go back to that really quick, because I want them to know that about you.
Yes, our showroom is vast. We have so many different brands, and we have different showcasings on the floor, and they're all in vignettes, which means it's all a kitchen setting so that you could actually see what the appliances would look like in an actual kitchen, instead of it just being stacks of laundry next to each other or stacks of ranges. You actually have a full kitchen vignette so that you can actually see what it would look like underneath the hood, a certain style, so that you can kind of really just decide what you want to do. And we partner with a cabinet company, so all of these cabinets, if you have a question about cabinets, you can go ask them, you can ask us about appliances. It's a one-stop shop, really.
It definitely sounds like that. Now, what makes a Bosch or a Viking, what makes them the top of the line, where you see the standard brand, if you will?
Most people go for those brands because they see, and there is nothing wrong with Viking, there is nothing wrong with Bosch. It's a name brand, it's a flash, it's a status symbol. And a lot of people want that status symbol, but maybe they can't afford that pricing. And so we really try to educate the consumer on what will work just as efficiently as maybe some of those big name brands. They're still a big name brand, but they're at a much more affordable price, giving you the look of a luxury kitchen and the functionality of a luxury kitchen, but at maybe sometimes even half or maybe a third of the price.
Got it. Well, what else? So you have a really great tip about dishwashers. Now we want to save that for the last. What tips would you provide our viewers today about maintaining the life of the refrigerator or a stove, a washer and dryer?
Right. So you always want to really read your user manuals. We hate to say that, but it's true. You read your user manuals, look online for different tips when it comes to your laundry. I will say for laundry, don't overload your laundry. Don't, keep it packed. I will say also you can leave the washer door open if it's a front loader just to kind of let it vent out, although there are some new features on new models that you don't have to do that. It will vent out for itself. But keep your oven clean. Make sure if it's before Thanksgiving, you're not testing your oven the day before Thanksgiving and calling me in a frantic, asking me for a new oven, because at that point there's nothing I can do. So be prepared.
So, with delivery time, so when someone comes into your showroom, they pick out the stove that they love. How long does it take for them to get that? And you also have install services, correct?
Yes, we do. So we install all the appliances that we sell. So if you've got a brand that you want to look at and you really want this one particular thing, the great thing about us is that we can look real time what the ETA is from the manufacturer. And then once we get it in from the manufacturer, it's usually about 7 days turnaround for us to be at 7 business days turnaround for us to be able to get it to you. Sometimes it's much faster depending on location.
I love that about you guys. And you are a phone call away. I know you personally have taken care of a client of mine and installing a dishwasher, and you guys did a really great job, and she really enjoyed that. So I appreciate you for what you're doing for our industry. So how does everyone get a hold of you?
Great. You can email me at megan@renovaappliancecenter.com, or if you're on our website and you just see a little bubble pop up, that's usually me, or our sales team, Roger. He is able to answer any questions. It's not a bot, it is us, and we'll be able to answer any questions you have directly on the website.
You do have that chat option. I love your website. It is very robust. You're seeing that on the screen right now. And thank you, Megan, so much for being with us today. And we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Absolutely.
Hey, Lily says AT&T's giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
Welcome back, everyone. Michelle Briggs, your host for Your Personal Real Estate. We are continuing our show, and we are with Saji Salam. He is the principal of Care Ventures Capital. How are you doing today, Saji?
Oh, very well, and thank you for having me on the show, Michelle.
Thank you for being here. Now, tell us a little bit about you and a little bit about Care Ventures Capital.
Sure. My background is in management consulting. I went to business school and was with management firms like Accenture and Deloitte, advising Fortune 500 companies before coming into the world of commercial real estate. And Care Ventures Capital is a private equity firm based out of Houston, and we currently manage about 100 million assets with holdings in 5 states across the country. Right here in Houston, we directly manage about 700 units, and then we have about 2,500 units across the other 4 states in the country.
That is wonderful. So when you're speaking of units, it's apartments, is that correct?
These are apartment units.
Wonderful. Now and I do want to acknowledge that you are one of our sponsors for the show, and thank you so much for being part of our family. And we're going to be looking at different aspects of Care Venture Capital. And as we're going through the different series and the different shows, you're going to see Sanjay with us many times. And I'm excited about learning about a Care Venture Capital and the services that you provide. And one of the things I really wanted to start with is the basics of real estate investing for passive income. I want to learn more about that. Share with us really what is that?
Oh, absolutely. So when we talk about passive income, in an ideal world, what passive income is, simply put, is that you make money while you're sleeping, just to dumb it down to that level. But basically, what it means that you have assets which are generating income while you go about doing your regular work. For instance, my investors are all physicians, and they are busy, they have things to do, but now their money needs to work for them, and that is where we come in and makes that happen and generates passive income for them.
So, Janji, when you have is there, as far as your clientele base, are there certain requirements? I mean, this isn't for everyone, and it could be for everyone. Is that a fair statement?
Well, yeah, I mean, it is. It's for everyone, if you ask me. It depends on what you want to invest in real estate. So real estate is a spectrum. You don't need to be just doing apartments. You could be doing something else. And even in apartments, I did not start with a large investment in apartments when I started. So there's a whole gamut of real estate out there, starting from single-family homes, land, all the way to large apartments and hotels and industrial warehouses so there's a ton of commercial real estate and single-family homes and retail investment opportunities out there. So if you look at it, I would like to talk to that broad spectrum of investors, right? The person who is getting started, maybe a student who wants to get started. I met somebody last week at a conference. She's in her 30s. She's already got like 20 single-family homes, which she's renting out, and she's pretty much retired. So to people who are coming late in the game, they have a lot of money from a sale of a business or whatever, and they're coming in and they want to buy an entire apartment by themselves with no financing. So that's a broad spectrum of investors. So
very much so. I mean, when we're looking at that passive income, there is such an opportunity out there for individuals and companies alike, correct? And how would someone get started? I mean, what is there to consider as an individual that may be wanting to become a part of this and invest real estate for passive income?
Okay, so maybe what I will do is I'll start by talking about somebody who got started out as a just getting started out with investing in real estate. By the way, I was managing my own rental property when I was like 14 years, back home in India from I'm from. So so if we go into looking at real estate from a very, very simple standpoint, let's say just doing a single family home, right? Even within the single family home, there are various ways of slicing and dicing it. So for instance, I have some single family homes out in the Midwest, and those are just straight out rental properties. I have a property management company which manages those rentals, and they make anywhere from $300 to $800 per single family home. And I don't spend a lot of time there, so it is passive. The only time I have to do something is when my property management company sends an email saying that, hey, we need an approval for maintenance or repair, something like that.
With Care Venture Capital, you're speaking of having, do you provide a management company where it truly is, again, I know it's the passive income and you're earning money while you sleep. Is Care Venture Capital truly I want to say one-stop shop. I understand that's not the right word for that, but truly they buy a property, they invest with you, and Care Venture Capital takes care of that?
That's correct. Yeah, so what Care Ventures Capital does is at a high level, more of investment management on behalf of our investors. So our investors trust us, and they provide funds for us to go find the right properties, acquire them, manage them, and send them money on a quarterly basis. So that is the mandate, and that's all we do. And we are not just limited to apartments alone. We also we have investments in farmlands. For instance, we have lime farm investments in Colombia, South America, where the limes are being shipped all the way to Walmart and Costco and stores in Europe. And so all this is happening because we have our operating partner in Colombia doing all that. Our investors only see just the checks that come to the bank. So it's truly passive for them.
Wonderful. What other, outside of, you're mentioning about the lime farm, is there any other industry or any other aspect of Care Venture Capital that someone, if they are not stepping into the real estate world of things, is there something else that they could reach out to you and speak with you about?
Mm-hmm. So, we are very careful in terms of choosing the investment. So we do a lot of due diligence. A typical process is that I personally invest my money, make sure that the model works, whatever that new investment is, and so that I understand the risk personally before bringing in other investors. So at this point, we are looking at two areas. One is commercial real estate, which is pretty much multifamily or apartments, and farmland, and we are looking at farmland, digging more and more into farmland, which is global in nature. So we need to evaluate country risk. We need to evaluate the operations, all that. So farmland is relatively new, but we are continuing to dig deeper and look at more opportunities out there as well.
What are you looking for in a client? If someone calls, they see the show today, and they're very interested in being a part of Care Venture Capital, what would be the first step for them?
Mm-hmm. Well, there are two major things to look for. So the first thing is that we need to understand whether they are accredited investors. So if they're accredited investors, which are investors who have a personal net worth of $1 million and above, or make $200,000 as in W-2 wages, or as a family makes $300,000 in income and wages. So if for accredited investors, we deal with them differently because they have more sophistication in terms of investing in larger deals. And then there are the non-accredited investors. But for both of them, we don't take them up front, meaning we don't let them invest right away, because we need a fair amount of education about these assets that we invest in. So we would educate them on the broad market in terms of what the apartment market is looking like, what are the trends, what are the drivers for growth. We teach underwriting at a high level so they understand what to look for. And then when it comes to a real opportunity, we do a presentation of that opportunity. And this opportunity comes in after evaluating, let's say, I would have underwritten about 100 opportunities before we picked one of the best performing assets for us in Augusta, Georgia. So that was a 104 unit that we purchased in somewhere in February of 2021 and exited in March of 2022. And for every 1 million our investors invested, we returned 2.25 million. So that kind of returns, they don't happen all the time, but we want to prep our investors for those good times and also the not so good times, because some of the properties right now, given the market conditions, we have to go out and raise additional capital from our investors. So it is not always hunky-dory, and we need to really educate our investors so that they expect both the good, bad, and the ugly. So education, I think, is key before we onboard an investor.
Great. I look forward to getting to know more about Care Venture Capital, and everyone that's watching today. Sanjay will be back, and we want you to really look at this. I mean, real estate is a great investment, and that has been proven years over years over years. So definitely be a part of the real estate investing. Care Venture Capital is here for you, and we are going to be right back after this commercial break.
Hey, Lily says AT&T's giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
Welcome back, everyone. Michelle Briggs, your host for Your Personal Real Estate, and we are talking to Emma Arzate. She is the owner of Detail Cleaning Services. How are you doing today, Emma?
I'm good, and yourself?
Wonderful. Thank you for being here with us. I'm excited about learning more about Detail. And first let's start with telling us a little bit about you and what led you in starting your business.
So honestly, it was a true accident. I was in college and my mom just was trying to look for more homes to clean, and she's like, hey, can you help me pick up some calls? I was like, sure, I'll do it. And then I just fell in love with the before and after. People would call me all stressed about my house is dirty, or my housekeeper didn't show up, or she didn't do a good job. And then I would call them after we provided service, and they were like, oh my God, this is amazing. I could do this every 2 weeks. And I'm like, we can go every 2 weeks. So it worked out really good. I fell in love with it, and that started back in 2009, and I've been growing it since then.
That is wonderful. So what are a few services that you provide to homeowners?
So most of our business is recurring, meaning people hire us to come weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, but we also do a lot of move-in, move-outs, people moving in or people moving out. Usually homeowners that are selling their home are the ones that call us for those services. Realtors trying to provide that service for their clients, and also one-timers. There's people that call us in the spring when everybody's worrying about cleaning their homes. There's also people calling us like in the fall during the holidays, literally October, November, December, and then we don't hear back until March for the spring cleaning.
Well, I never really thought about that. I mean, to have someone that just comes in right before the holidays, that's brilliant. Yeah. That's brilliant. So they can call you. They do not necessarily have to have a monthly or weekly setup. Someone can give you a call and say, we just need this one-time service.
That's right. Anytime cleaning is becoming stressful, overwhelming, you can just call us. Free estimates, just call us. Within minutes of speaking to you, we'll be able to get all the details and get you a quote right away.
So what is the information, or what do you need to be able to have that consultation to determine what that price would be? I mean, what's that checklist?
Usually it's just a couple questions, square footage. First of all, we want to know that we service your area, and we do service Houston and surrounding cities, like, you know, from Sugar Land to Katy to Richmond to Spring to the Woodlands. So that's one thing, making sure that we do clean in your area. And then, you know, once we get the square footage, we'll go into like how many people live in the home, right? Because cleaning a home where you live alone or have a spouse versus cleaning somebody that has 3 kids or 4 kids like I do, including twins, and pet owners. So those questions out of the way. And then we'll ask you the frequency of the service. When was the last time your house was professionally cleaned? So those are the type of questions we ask you.
Wonderful. Do you, when you go into the home for the first time, do you have a set required? Is it you want to be able to clean the baseboards or clean the refrigerator or clean the stove? Or is there, when you're setting up a service, that you say, okay, well, this is what we do first time out, and then after that we'll go into a more basic clean? Or is it really what the homeowner wants?
We honestly encourage people that we want to, and that's a great question. We get that question a lot. We tell people, let us do we call it a top to bottom. We're going to go in there and we're going to hand wipe most reachable surfaces, from like baseboards, ceiling fans, windowsills, anything in between that we can clean. And then once we get that top to bottom deep cleaning out of the way, we're going to go, and if you hire us for weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, we're basically going to maintain your home clean. Meaning we're still going to deep clean your bathrooms every time, we're going to deep clean your kitchen, but other areas like baseboards and blinds, we're going to dust them. And people that are on a recurring schedule actually have us deep clean their house every 2-3 months.
That's a great idea. That is a wonderful idea. So do you have plans or packages for homeowners, or is it just a set schedule and it's a set fee, if you will, each time?
We do have packages, so we have 4 packages, actually 5. That would be the move in, move out. We have a premium package where we're going to go and clean inside, oven, inside windows, inside refrigerator. It's kind of like a spring cleaning. And then if we're going to just do a maintenance cleaning, that's a different package, meaning what I was referring to earlier, we're going to dust the baseboards, ceiling fans, and things like that. And then, of course, the move-in, move-out package that I referenced to earlier. So those are the different type of packages that we have.
So you mentioned about the move-in and move-out services. What type of clients call you for that service? I mean, I know myself as a realtor, that is something that we do utilize. Do you get calls for investors or rental portfolio investors is what I'm speaking to, or individuals?
We do, actually, and we actually created a referral program because we were having many of them calling us and referring us to their clients. And we even built a package where it's a great gift for people that are selling or buying a home to give to somebody, not have to worry about the cleaning. So we do a lot of those make-readies. Make-readies are basically what we call when somebody's going to put their home in the market, and you want to make sure it's presentable for your prospects. So we go in there, and again, we do a top to bottom where we deep clean all the areas I mentioned earlier, baseboards, ceiling fans, and bathrooms and kitchen. So yeah, definitely. I get those calls a lot.
Great. Well, any property managers, right, that are watching today, write her information down, give her a call. So what should homeowners be doing right now for spring cleaning season?
So one thing I tell people all the time, because when people know that I own a maid service, they're like, oh my God, how do I keep up with the spring cleaning mood that everybody's in, and it's so overwhelming. One thing is a step at a time, right? Try to tackle one room every time you're going to clean for 3-4 hours. Try to tackle one room at a time. Obviously, my biased advice would be hire a professional like us that, with a quick call and a credit card, you get that taken care of within minutes. But if you want to do it on your own, you can check out our website. We have great spring cleaning tips. But again, just focus on one area at a time. Obviously, if you have a family, get them involved. Make it fun for the kids, right? So that, if we go ahead and clean up and declutter your room, we're going to go for ice cream, right? Things like that really help. Now, spring means allergies. So I really do suggest that it's not just people talking about the spring cleaning, right? You want to do it because there's a lot of people, including myself, where it's allergy season and you want to make sure you clean the baseboards. One that many people miss is the ceiling fans, right? Because we don't see it, right? It's not eye level. So really go in there, use a step ladder, or we use our 12-foot dusters where we can reach those surfaces. Another common miss one is on top of the refrigerator. A lot of dust accumulates there, and you want to get to those areas and clean your air filters. All those important things that are really going to help you and your family.
Yeah, the ceiling fan is going, right? We're not seeing, you don't see the dust of the ceiling fan as it's going. So I get the world of that. What other tips do you have? I mean, of course we want to hire you and we want everyone to utilize your services. However, as we're going through the month in between, maybe you have a once a month client like myself, as we go through the week, we're picking up and cleaning up. Now, what should I be focusing on during that time? I mean, do I really need to dust?
Attentionally, yes. Yes, I mean because dust, it's kind of like you don't see it, right? Unless you really pay attention, a close eye, you don't really see it. So definitely you want to dust again the baseboards, the ceiling fans, and I always suggest people, you don't have to dust every week or every other day. As long as you do it once a month, I even say you can get away with, depending on your allergies, you can get away with doing it every 2 months. But yeah, dusting is definitely, it's not just about the floors and the dishes, it's also about the baseboards and the doors, light switches, door handles. If you have pets, that's a very important step as well. Like making sure that you're cleaning your walls and your door frames, and yeah. For sure.
I used to own a 125-pound German Shepherd, and we vacuumed every day the hair in that house. So yes, I have a fur baby. Now he's a Bichon, so he does not shed nowhere near what Neo did, but I get the world of that. So now, one of the things I noticed on your website, you had mentioned that you are veteran owned. So you are a veteran?
Yes, so I'm not a veteran actually. I co-own the business with my brother. Going back to my story, I started in 2009, and 3 years in the business, my brother finishes his time in the Army and he's looking for a job. My books are a mess, right? And I'm like, he's got the discipline and the systems that the military teaches people, and he brought those systems and we apply them. He's like, okay, so I'm going to college for history teacher, right? I'm loving the business. If you make me a partner, I switched my degree to business management. So he did, and so I run it with him, and he's a veteran, and my husband's a veteran. He's not involved in the business, but I still get the credit because I have to put up with it.
That's right, exactly. Well, please thank them for their service. Please do.
Yes, thank
also,
you.
I did see that you're an advocate for autism. Now, my nephew has autism. He is autistic. So you have autism as cleaning for a cause. Share with us a little bit about you giving back to our community in that way.
Yeah, so thank you for the opportunity, because I want to reach more people that we can help in the community. So one thing we're supporting is Cleaning for a Reason. It's a nonprofit nationwide, and it was created by a cleaning business owner like myself, who saw a need in the community to help cancer patients. And the reason I chose that was my mom, who I started the business with, she was diagnosed with cancer 5 years in the business. And I saw the struggle from surgery, chemo, radiation. And luckily for us, she didn't have to worry about cleaning anymore because we own the company. But when I found this nonprofit, I was like, what a great way to give back to our community and provide free cleanings to cancer patients. So right now, the way it works is we give 4 cleanings. Actually, we give 8 cleanings to 4 patients. They each get 2 free cleanings. And this nonprofit, they match us. This is actually a real patient that the nonprofit connected us with, and all we do is we call them, schedule the cleaning, and we show up and clean. And our technicians are very passionate about that, because we all met at least one person in our lives that's been impacted with cancer. So it's really the last thing a cancer patient should be worrying about is cleaning their home. And it really does help them with their mental health, which was one of the things that we hear a lot from cancer patients. Now, the second great nonprofit that we support, this is a local nonprofit, and the reason we decided to support it is because my brother, again, the co-owner of the business, he's got 2 young kids with autism. And when he started the journey, he really had a hard time finding resources and what is autism, right? And what do I need to do for my son? So we were able to partner up with a nonprofit named Hope for 3, and through them, we give 2 families a month free cleanings. So that, again, that just helps us create more awareness and just say, hey, if we can help one way or another, which the way we can help is do what we do best, which is cleaning, and supporting this great nonprofit that gives a lot of resources to local families that are going through, have kids with autism and having to deal with an autistic. It's just, you have to deal with a lot of things.
It is a lot. It is a lot. So sometimes the cleaning of the home is not the priority. The priority is your child.
Yes,
right?
For sure.
So thank you so much, Emma, for being with us today. We really appreciate you. And everyone, please save her information. Give her a call. Give her an opportunity. And we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Thank you for having me.
Working, especially if you don't have the right attorney at your side. Hi, my name is Sonia Aston, and I'm an attorney with over 30 years of experience. I've helped small and medium-sized businesses and business owners to make sure that their legal rights and interests are protected. As general counsel for you and your organization, I can draft and review solid contracts, minimize the risk of litigation, review and prepare comprehensive business succession plans, or help you navigate your company with the local, state, and federal government. Take a decisive step today. I'm here to make sure your legal rights are protected and you have a peace of mind that you deserve.
Welcome back, everyone. Michelle Briggs, your host for Your Personal Real Estate. We are ending our show with Jason Cantrell. Now, Jason is an agent with State Farm Agency. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Michelle. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. And I really wanted to highlight State Farm. And Jason, you are a part of our community, and you are on the board with me with the Greater Heights Area Chamber of Commerce. You really do understand our community and customer service and ensuring one of our highest, probably largest investments that we are making for ourselves and our families. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about you and tell us why you chose and starting with and working with State Farm.
Yeah, well, I'm really excited to share with you about State Farm and my agency. Became a State Farm agent in 2011, after working in corporate America for a while. And really, my degree is in finance, insurance, and risk management. So coming back around after being in corporate America for a while, this opportunity presented itself, and I just love helping people. And so with my agency, with our team, we just find so many opportunities to help others in the Heights and throughout Texas and Louisiana.
Wonderful. I did not realize you were in Louisiana as well. That's excellent. Yeah. Wonderful. Okay, so how much, or how do we know how much homeowners insurance or coverage do we need for our home?
That's a great question. So determining the amount of coverage depends on the fit and finishes, the quality of the home, what it is made out of. Is it brick? Is it hardy plank? Is it stucco? The square footage of the home is important as well. Typically, insurance can range anywhere from $150 a square foot up to $300, $400, $500, depending on the fit and finishes of the home.
So when you're saying fit and finishes, it really does speak to the type of, is it as simple as the type of countertops, the type of hardware? Is it the appliances in the home? And when you say fit and finish, is that what you're speaking
Absolutely,
about?
Absolutely. So you have different levels of appliances. You have different levels of granite. You may have level 2 granites, level 12 granites. You may have high-end refrigerators. Things of those nature will determine the replacement cost, and we use a replacement cost tool. So we gather information. Sometimes we'll get it from the county appraisal district. A lot of times we're always visiting with the customer and taking them through question by question to understand what the layout of the home is, rooms, bathrooms, all of those items and all of that different information will determine what the replacement cost needs to be, and then based on that, that's what your home should be insured at. We like to insure for 100% replacement cost. That way, if the entire home is destroyed, it can be repaired.
So that's kind of my next question was really defining the difference between the replacement cost and your market. Mm-hmm. Can you talk a little bit what that difference is?
That's a fantastic question, because replacement cost and market value typically are different throughout, we're here in Houston, but throughout Texas, throughout Louisiana as well. And what I mean by that is you may have the same or similar home in the Heights be purchased for $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 more, and that is because the land value may be more. So market value is different than replacement cost, and we deal with mortgage brokers quite a bit that will come back to us and ask us, hey, why is it insured for less than what they're purchasing for? And that is because we do not need to insure the land. We only need to insure the structure itself, any of the structures on the property, because in the event of a total catastrophe, the land is still there.
Right, and that's an unfortunate situation, but that is accurate, mm-hmm. right? That mm-hmm. the land is there and you can rebuild.
That's right.
That's the replacement cost, right? That's the beauty of that.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when we spoke about fit and finishes mm-hmm. and looking at those values, what other things that as a homeowner, when we're looking for a new insurance agent, what should we have for you, or what should we be looking at when deciding to go with State Farm if we currently do not have State Farm?
Yeah, State Farm's a great company. Number one, we just celebrated 100 years last year, and we are a fantastic insurance company to do business with. Our financial strength is top tier, probably the best, if not the highest. So financial strength, making sure that you're working with an insurance company that has the reserves, that has the money necessary to pay out the claims when that time comes. There are lots of companies out there that might have a better pricing structure than ours, but in many cases, cheaper is more expensive. And so when you come down to having to file that claim, when it is claim time, and we're standing in your driveway, unfortunately, and the fire trucks are in the street, it's not at that point in time that you want to question your insurance company and if you have the right coverage. So State Farm, I remember back to 1990 or thereabouts when I was living in Louisiana and Hurricane Andrew came through, and my parents had State Farm. State Farm was a way of life in Louisiana, and we were taken care of. And I just thought it was just fantastic that our insurance company came through in our time of need. And that's my ability to give back as a State Farm agent, and the opportunity to take care of customers, help them through their claims process, and be that call or that person that they can speak with, that shoulder that they can cry on when they have that claim.
Right, and that you are, Jason. Thank you so much. Now, what do we need to look at as far as deductibles? How do we decide what is the best deductible for us or our home?
Deductibles are, that's a great question. A lot of it depends on where you live as to what percentage of deductibles you may have access to. Being here in the Houston area, we're near the Gulf of Mexico, which means we're close to hurricanes. We haven't had one since 2008, I believe was Ike. And so who knows what this season is going to look like. And so typically your deductibles are a percentage of your dwelling A coverage. And so in Houston, we can range from anywhere from 1% to 5% deductibles. In this area, 2% for wind and hail. So you have a policy deductible and you have a wind hail deductible typically on every policy. And again, so if you have a $300,000 house, a 1% deductible of that would be $3,000. If you had a 2% wind hail, then you would have a $6,000 deductible for there. So, but those are typically your two main deductibles on a policy.
Right. What is what are some type of coverages that you provide? Of course, homeowners insurance or hazard insurance is also the other word, or how we say it as well. What other coverages do you provide?
Well, so the homeowners policy is built. You have coverage A or dwelling coverage, which is for the main structure. You're also going to have a percentage of that which will cover any detached structures. You might have a detached garage, or you may have a detached structure on your property. And then you have one of the main coverages within a homeowner's policy is your liability coverage. And so if you think of it this way, the liability portion typically starts at $100,000 and you can go upwards up to $1 million. And then from there you can actually purchase excess liability coverage in the form of an umbrella. But what liability coverage is going to take care of is in the event that you're found liable for some type of loss, someone comes onto your property and God forbid slips and falls and you're found liable, that liability coverage would be the portion that goes towards your claim. And if you exceed, you utilize the entire amount, let's say it's $100,000 and you exceed that and you have an umbrella policy in force, then that umbrella will then kick in as well to provide additional liability coverage.
Now there are so many different coverages, and you're speaking about the liability. Now, do you have a theft, or does State Farm provide renter's insurance? Should someone be renting right now? What other optional coverages? Yeah,
so we do provide renter's insurance. We work with a lot of the different apartment complexes throughout the state, and then there are folks that actually may have a second home, and they take the first home and they decide that they want to become a landlord, and so we have what's called a rental dwelling policy, so that they can rent the first home that they had their family in, and so that they're renting that out and they're making an income on that, and so we have coverage for that as well. But renter's insurance, yes, we do provide renter's insurance. It's a little bit different than homeowner's insurance because renters, you only have your contents that you need to insure plus liability coverage as well.
It is so important when you are living in an apartment and you're saving up to buy that new home or buy your first home. I always say have renter's insurance, and even my rental properties, single family, I have them get rental insurance as well because you're not familiar. You don't know what your neighbor's doing is what I really say. You don't know what your neighbor's doing, so you want to make sure that you are taking care of your personal items. Now, you had mentioned hurricane season. That is right around the corner. Is there any special coverage that we can obtain now to be prepared for that?
Well, not necessarily a special coverage. What I suggest to all my friends, family, anyone who's out there that rents or owns a home is to take a look at your insurance policy. Okay, make sure that it's in force. Who are you doing business with? Who are your contact numbers? How much coverage do you have? And now is the time, as we prepare for hurricane season, is to maybe take an inventory of what you have in your home. I always like to tell clients, whenever you have a claim, your claims adjuster is going to come to you and ask you, okay, tell us everything that we need to replace. And it's a stressful time when you have a claim. And if you don't have a good inventory of what you have, then you won't know what needs to be replaced. And so I always suggest a quick minute video or 30-second video as you walk around each room. And while you're taking that video, go ahead and talk into the camera of what it is that you're looking at. 20 pairs of shoes, 10 golf shirts, things of that nature. And then once you stop that particular room, then email it to yourself. That way now that video is saved in the cloud, and God forbid if something happened to your phone, you're not relying on it being on your phone, it's actually saved in the cloud. So it's one of those things that if you take 15, 20 minutes and you can do that, and it creates an opportunity for you to where should that claim arise, it pulls back some of the stress that you're going to be experiencing during that claim time.
Well, that is a great way to end this segment, to end our show today. Take a video of your contents. I never even thought about that. It's so overwhelming to think about writing everything down. Take a video, upload it to the cloud. Thank you, Jason, for being with us today.
Thank
and
you,
we'll
Michelle.
be right back after this commercial break.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Working is challenging and risky, especially if you don't have the right attorney at your side. Hi, my name is Sonia Aston, and I'm an attorney with over 30 years of experience. I've helped small and medium-sized businesses and business owners to make sure that their legal rights and interests are protected. As general counsel for you and your organization, I can draft and review solid contracts, minimize the risk of litigation, review and prepare comprehensive business succession plans, or help you navigate your company with the local, state, and federal government. Take a decisive step today. I'm here to make sure your legal rights are protected and you have a peace of mind that you deserve.
¿Sueñas con vender tus productos o servicios en Estados Unidos? Pareciera muy difícil, mas no es imposible. Soy Edmundo Treviño y quiero compartir contigo más de 20 años de experiencia promoviendo productos latinoamericanos en el principal mercado del mundo. Si quieres aprender más, sígueme en todas mis redes sociales.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here with us today. Thank you to our guest, Emma, Detail Cleaning Services, Megan Anderson with Renova Appliance Center, of course, Jason Cantrell, and also Saji Salim with Care Venture Capital, which today is just the beginning of that conversation with Saji. Join us next week, Thursday at 5 p.m. to meet other real estate professionals. If you're looking to sell your house or buy a home, I invite you to allow me to be of service to you and your family. I am Michelle Briggs, and this is Your Personal Real Estate. End ALZ.